Hi, today we're talking Winds of Winter predictions now that I have finally finished the A Song of Ice and Fire book series by George R.R. Martin, and we are patiently awaiting the release of Winds of Winter. Maybe not so patiently, actually. I've put a lot of thought into what I feel like Winds is going to include, what plots I feel like are going to happen, and what's going to happen for certain characters. So that's what this video is about. My main prediction being that I don't think Winds is ever going to come out. I'm only joking. My actual prediction is that I don't think it's going to be released whilst George R.R. Martin is alive. I mean, how many years has it been since Dance was released? Too many. So let's talk about what Winds of Winter may or may not include. These are my predictions. Let me know what yours are in the comments. I'd be even more interested to know what your predictions for Winds are. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up to let me know. Enjoy! Also, I just want to put a disclaimer out there. I have not watched the Game of Thrones TV show. Not fully, anyway. I am currently reacting to every single episode on my channel. We're up to season 2 at the moment. So these predictions are coming from a book reader's perspective only. But I'll leave some of my TV show reactions in the description for you in case you'd be interested in checking them out. So let's start off with talking about young Griff / Aegon Targaryen. So this is a huge storyline from Dance that I am aware is not even in the TV show at all, which I think was a huge missed opportunity. This storyline is juicy. When I first started reading about this in the book series, I was in awe. What a plot to the twist. So I think that young Griff / Aegon will have some claim to the Iron Throne. And I also feel like he may be allied with Dawn somehow, probably through a marriage with Arianne Martell. There's a lot of potential suitors for young Griff / Aegon, but I feel like Arianne Martell is probably the most likely or the most realistic one. And I do feel like that alliance with Dawn is the most likely. I also think that this is a very popular prediction. I don't think I'm in the minority with thinking this. Knowing George R.R. Martin, I do feel like there will be some conflict further down the line. Maybe young Griff is going to mess this alliance up somehow, or something's going to happen. I just don't know what. It won't go smoothly though, that I can tell ya. Another thing to mention is the fake Aegon theory, or Fagon, which I really like the word, Fagon. Which is the theory that he isn't actually a Targaryen. So this may be the conflict further down the line, because then his alliance with Dawn will be nulled. Let's talk Jon Con. Good old Jon Connington, he gon' be dead. I predict that he's gonna die from grayscale. Again, I think I'm in the majority with this theory, and it's very heavily alluded to in Dance with Dragons. I don't really see how he's going to survive that. So I definitely think rip Jon Connington. I don't know how his death is going to impact other characters though. With George R.R. Martin, one thing that he's brilliant at is cause and effect. So when there is something that happens that is going to impact other things, and it's going to impact other storylines and other plots and other character motives. So I don't know how any future deaths in Winds of Winter are going to impact other characters. I'd be really interested to see what you think the impact of Jon Connington's death might be. Or is anyone even going to care? So let's talk about Daenerys Targaryen. She has basically had no storyline at all for the past 5 books. She's probably one of the ones who is just doing everything that she can to stay away from Westeros, and therefore she's not really having much of a storyline at the moment. In fact, there was a really long chapter in Dance with Dragons of her pooping in a field. So in Winds of Winter, I still don't think that she is going to go to Westeros. I do think that she is going to probably be just as boring as she always has been, because to be honest, that's probably just her character. She's just not up to a lot at the moment, and that's fine. But I do think she may leave Meereen, at least midway through the book, maybe towards the end of the book. She's going to get out of there at some point, because otherwise George R.R. Martin will have nothing to write about her. I also think that she may become like an enemy to Dawn, because she will end up being blamed for Quentyn Martell's death, which obviously it was because of her dragons that he died, and his own stupidity, but nobody will remember that. So I feel like she's going to get blamed for that. There's going to be conflict between her and Dawn, yada yada. I'll talk a little bit more about Tyrion Lannister later on. I've got a couple of predictions for him, but I do think somehow him and Daenerys will take on the issues that are going on in Slaver's Bay, probably even solve them, so that will be where I think her storyline is going to go, is mainly focusing on that side of things. But other than that, I don't think she's going to get up to much. Our gal Dani just chilling over there. With this next point, again, I want to reiterate, I have not watched the TV show. I shared this prediction with somebody who had, and they said that when I filmed this video, I need to make it very clear, I have not watched the TV show. So I don't know why, and I don't know what happens in regard to this theory that I'm about to share with you. Ooh, the suspense, I bet you can't wait to find out. Well, you won't have to wait too long because I don't like to keep you hanging like George R.R. Martin. I'm going to tell you right now. I think Stannis will get Winterfell. I think that he's going to have it. I think he's going to defeat the Boltons, basically. I think that he is going to burn his daughter Shireen to death because he thinks that that's going to help him win. So either he's going to burn her to death or Melisandre will as like a sacrifice. Because let's be honest, she's no stranger to sacrificing people, is she? So because I've been warned to make it clear that I haven't watched the TV show, I have a feeling that that doesn't happen in the TV show and that Stannis' storyline goes drastically different to that. So I am excited to react to that when I watch it, but as it stands right now, from a book reader's perspective, I think that Stannis is going to win Winterfell and defeat the Boltons. I just got a feeling. Stannis is the man. I think he's going to do it. And it also fits within his character arc for him to gain that victory, I feel anyway. So one of the massive storylines in Dance with Dragons is Jon Snow. I don't think he's fully dead. I think he will live or be resurrected somehow. It's happened before, it can happen again. Just take Lady Stoneheart for an example. I have a feeling that he will survive through warging into Ghost because we know that the Starks like to do their wargy stuff, don't they? And I just feel like Jon Snow is going to survive that way through Ghost. And I also think that that would be pretty cute AF if he did do that. I don't think he will be the same though. So if he does live, he's not going to be the old Jon Snow. I think he's going to be a much darker, more corrupted version of himself. Maybe almost like beast-like his wolf, because he's walked through Ghost. I also think that his death is going to cause a massive fight over at the Wall between the Free Folk and the Night's Watch. I just think there's going to be a whole lot of stuff going down over there. I think it has to. Again, cause and effect. Like, the death of a character sparks conflict elsewhere. I also think as well, so the Night's Watch oath is until death. Technically, Jon Snow will have died. Therefore, his Night's Watch is over. He ain't breaking an oath because his oath has finished. So I think that that's going to have massive plot progression for him. It's going to make him feel free to do a lot more stuff. And I think Jon Snow is going to get up to some juicy stuff. I don't want him to be a corrupted version of himself because I love him and he's one of my favourite characters, but you've got to think realistically here. And the realistic thing is that he will be resurrected, but just a darker version of himself. There's nothing out of the ordinary about that. There is nothing unrealistic about that at all. Maybe somehow he might even become King of the North. It's not out the remit of possibility. And along that wavelength, actually, if I've said that Stannis wins Winterfell, I do also have to give a prediction for if he doesn't win Winterfell and if he loses. Then I think that means we're going to have a battle of the bastards. So I think that there will be a battle between Jon Snow and the Boltons. In fact, a lot of people think that that's going to happen anyway. A lot of people think that that is going to be one of the main things that is included in Winds of Winter is the Battle of the Bastards and this fight for King of the North. And I have heard that that is in the TV show, which I'm very excited to watch that play out. But like I said, I don't want to compare the books too much to the TV show because I know that they're both very, very different and I do have to look at them as being like independent from each other. But those would be some amazing chapters in Winds of Winter. I can just imagine the writing style in those chapters. My main prediction for Winds of Winter is that Rickon will continue to disappear. Hashtag find Rickon, where is he? So we've got to consider Cersei Lannister. Now, I don't know if she's going to have much of a plot or not. I don't see her dying. She's going to be like Alicent Hightower and just carry on forever, even though everybody wants her to die, nobody likes her, and she just sticks around way past her time. That's what I think Cersei Lannister's going to be doing. I do feel like she may take revenge on the Faith though, because of what they made her do with like that walk of shame, and also she's not actually had a trial yet as it stands. So yeah, I'm undecided on how her storyline's going to go, But I feel like if George R.R. Martin was going to write a really juicy, tense storyline for her, it would probably be to do with revenge of some sort. I mentioned Tyrion a little bit earlier and how he's probably going to solve the issues in Slavers Bay with Dany. So along that wavelength, I think that he is going to earn Daenerys' trust and stay in her service. Otherwise, what would have been the point in George R.R. Martin making him go over there? His storylines over there are not done yet, and I think that he is going to stay in Dany's service. How that will affect things later down the line, I'm unsure. That is going to have massive repercussions. I don't know if that is the word, but that's going to have like a domino effect on other things going on later down the line, I think. This next prediction is kind of vague, but just because I don't know how it's going to lead to the end prediction that I have. So I think that Jaime Lannister is going to be reunited with Brienne of Tarth somehow, possibly through Lady Stoneheart, but again, I don't really know how. I've put thought into it, and if I'm trying to make it realistic, I don't really know how. But I just get that feeling that their storyline isn't done, like they're going to be reunited in some way, some form. It's almost like I've got the end point of what I think my prediction is, but I haven't got the bits in the middle that get there. Like I haven't quite joined up all the dots or put in all the puzzle pieces to how it's going to create that overall picture at the end, you know? Look at me whipping out the metaphors to describe how I feel. So if anybody else thinks the same as me, what pathway do you think Jaime Lannister takes in order to get there? I'd love to have some more ideas to bounce off of, and I'd love to get your input on how you think that him and Brienne are going to be reunited, and also what part Lady Stoneheart's going to play as well. I think that Arya's assassinness is somehow going to take her back to Westeros. I've actually really enjoyed her storyline in Bravos, and you know, learning how to be an assassin. It's very badass, it fits very well with her character, but I think she's probably served her time over there now. I don't think there's much more for her to do over there. I don't think the plot's going to progress that much while she's there, and I think that it's going to bring her back to Westeros somehow. I mean, she like progressed significantly over there in her training. She was tasked with her like first mission to assassinate, and she was like taking on these different faces. And actually, didn't we get a Winds of Winter preview chapter for her? Am I right? Oh my god, we did, didn't we? We have a Winds of Winter preview chapter for Arya where she is fulfilling an assassination mission. I need to go back and watch my review of those chapters. So I do feel like her storyline is going to go back over to Westeros somehow, and I'm really excited to see how that plays out because I've been really enjoying her storyline. And again, she's one of my favourite characters. I'm rooting for her. Littlefinger might die. Yeah, Petyr Baelish might be no more. Perhaps through trying to win Winterfell for Sansa, maybe? That could be a plausible reason as to why he would die. You know, when you just get that feeling that he's not just going to disappear, is he? But he also isn't going to have a massive impact on that much stuff in the next book, I don't think. It'll be through trying to do something for Sansa that I think he's going to meet his demise. Do we think that Margaery might be found guilty and executed due to the trial by combat? I can see that happening. I can also picture a civil war happening in King's Landing between the Lannisters, the Faith, Tyrells. Yeah, I think some crazy stuff is going down in King's Landing in Winds of Winter, and I am here for it. The saddest prediction, probably the one that's going to impact me emotionally the most. My boy Barristan is going to die. Barristan the Bold, Barristan Selmy, my good pal, I think you're going to be dead. It's George R.R. Martin. We have to expect that anybody is going to die. Maybe everybody is going to die. Maybe it's going to be like the dinosaurs and there's going to be some kind of comet that takes out the whole of Westeros and wherever Dany is at the moment as well. That is more of a realistic prediction than Winds of Winter coming out when George R.R. Martin is alive. My final prediction is that we learn who the real Azor Ahai is, and it's the friends we make along the way. So those are my very clunky Winds of Winter predictions. I have actually put a lot of thought into this, believe it or not. I think it's because I'm under the guise of anything can happen and we also may never find out. So it's really hard to predict for something like this. Let me know what your predictions are in the comments. I am like way more interested to know what yours are than my own because I've thought through mine so many times. I would like to know what yours are now. So make sure to leave me a comment to keep this conversation going. As I mentioned earlier, if you do want to see me react to the TV show, then I am currently uploading every single episode to my YouTube channel bit by bit. and I've already got plenty up at the moment, so I will leave those in the description box or you can find them on my channel. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and you want to see more from me. Also, if you celebrate it, Merry Christmas, because at the time of me uploading this, I think we only have a few days left, so I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. If you want to see more videos from me, then please subscribe because it's free and it just means that you can see my videos a lot easier. I will see you next time, or rather you'll see me, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye for now.